And now, welcome to 7 Questions with Emmy.
Hey guys, welcome back to 7 Questions. Today I'm interviewing Robert Irwin. He's joining me from the Australia Zoo.
G'day, thank you so much for having me. It's an honour to get to talk to you. And yes, we're here at Australia Zoo at our Australia Zoo Wildlife Hospital where we take care of all the injured animals that we find in our local area.
You might know his dad, Steve, as the crocodile hunter who sadly passed away in 2006. Now Robert is following in his steps. Thanks so much for talking with me, Robert.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for having me. It's awesome. I've gotten to see a couple of your interviews before and you're doing such an awesome job. And yeah, it's so good to get to talk to you and chat all things wildlife and conservation and everything that we get up to here at Australia Zoo.
It's 4 o'clock on Thursday afternoon right now. What time is it where you are?
So here it is 9 a.m. on a Friday. So we're in the future here. It's pretty cool. So Friday is awesome. You're going to enjoy it. It's a great day. So look forward to it. But yeah, no, we're always kind of a day ahead here in Australia. And I actually have a lot of family in the United States. And so that's always a constant battle whenever we're Zooming or FaceTiming, is trying to work out the right time. And I end up calling people at a horrible hour where they are when it's morning time here. So yes, the time difference is always a little bit tricky.
Let's get on with the questions.
Sounds good.
Question number 1. What's your favorite animal in the zoo and why?
Ooh, that is a very difficult question, actually. We have 1,200 animals at Australia Zoo, at our wildlife sanctuary here. So it's very, very busy. A lot of mouths to feed and take care of. And my favourite animal of all time would have to be crocodiles. I love crocodiles. I wish I could have brought one today to show you, but I don't think it would have fit here on this table in front of me, so it didn't quite work. But crocs are amazing. They are my dad's favourite animal as well. They are the most beautiful animals, incredibly powerful, and there's a lot more to them than meets the eye. You know, they're not just these big hungry predators. They're actually very intelligent. They're quite affectionate with one another, and they're really, really amazing animals in general. So I love them. It's like working with dinosaurs. It's pretty cool.
I like crocodiles too.
That's good. Thank you.
Question number 2. Have you ever been bit by a crocodile or another animal? Was it scary?
Ooh, okay. I have. Yes, both. I've been bitten by a crocodile and a lot of other animals as well. Luckily, I've only ever been bitten by a very, very small crocodile that was only about this big. When we work with our crocs here at Australia Zoo, and we try and stay very, very careful and try and keep a nice safe distance for smaller ones, sometimes it's inevitable. Every now and again you get a little nip, but it's usually not too bad. I actually recently had quite a funny bite from a snake. There's a species of snake here called a carpet python. They're non-venomous, so they're not harmful to people. But I was actually rescuing him and releasing him from the side of the road and took him to a nice safe place. And as I went to set him down into the grass, he decided that he didn't like me and swung around and struck at my eye and actually bit me on the eye. So it was very uncomfortable. Luckily my eye was shut, but he grabbed me on the eye and then let go, and it bled a little bit, but it was all fine, and he got released and lived a very happy life. But yes, I don't think he liked me very much.
That sounds scary.
It was a little bit. It was very startling more than anything. But it's one of those things when you work with animals, every now and again, you might make a little mistake and you get a little bite, but it's usually not too bad.
Are you excited to become an uncle, and how are you going to spoil your little niece?
Oh, I'm extremely excited to become an uncle. I cannot wait. It's going to be amazing. I still remember so vividly hearing the news when Bindi told us that she was expecting, and I'm so excited. I have the most amazing sister and brother-in-law as well. They're just awesome. And yeah, I can't wait for all the adventures ahead. I think that for me, my job is going to be the head of fun, the director of fun. I'm going to be making sure that, you know, she's getting to feed crocs and work with snakes and ride motorbikes and do all the fun stuff that we get up to here at Australia Zoo. I might have to wait a couple of years until she's big enough to walk and do all of this, But yeah, that's going to be my job, is making sure that it's just an endless amount of fun, and I cannot wait. It's going to be awesome.
I would want to do that.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Idaho Falls?
I personally have not been to Idaho Falls, but I would love to go. Hopefully one day when we get through all this crazy COVID stuff, I'd love to come and visit Idaho Falls. But, my mum has actually visited there, and she was very young. She was 8 years old. She was 8 years old when excuse me. It's not COVID, I promise. She was 8 years old when she visited Idaho Falls, and she remembers very vividly, she was staying next to the zoo that was there, and she remembered hearing the lions in the zoo, and she thought to herself, when she was a really little kid, she thought, wow, imagine getting to listen to this every day, living in a zoo. And then decades later, she met my dad, moved over to Australia, and now we wake up to the sound of tigers roaring in our backyard every night. And so her dream sort of came full circle. So it was really interesting. But yeah, she loved Idaho Falls.
What's your favorite American food that you don't have in Australia? And what's your favorite Australian food that we don't have in America?
Ooh, my favorite American food that we don't have in Australia. That is a really tough one. You know what I love, which is, not everyone loves it, but Twinkies. I love Twinkies. They are amazing. We don't have anything like them in Australia. They're just absolutely painfully sweet, and I don't think they're a health treat, and I don't have them very often, but every now and again when we're in America, I'll have a Twinkie, and it's amazing. So good. So that would be the one thing we don't have in Australia that I love. But then the one thing in America that you don't have, but that we have here, it would have to be Vegemite. I love Vegemite. Have you ever tried it before?
No.
It's not a very popular thing there, and it's not pleasant if you haven't experienced it before. It's a little bit gross, but once you get used to it, Vegemite is actually really, really good, and it's an Australian staple here.
What is it like running a zoo with your family?
Running a zoo is amazing. It's always extremely busy, and every day is completely different. But I think that, to put it into one word, it's just an adventure. It really is. It can be very, very tricky at times, but I think having my amazing family around me all the time, I'm constantly learning from them, and it's a really, really rewarding job, because it's not just the zoo itself, but we also have a wildlife hospital where I am now, where we've taken in over 100,000 sick and injured animals, rehabilitated them, gotten them well, and then released them back out into the wild. And then we also support a lot of different conservation projects all over the world. And before all of this crazy stuff happened, and we got to travel a bit more, I got to experience all of those conservation projects over the years. In Africa, we've got projects in Sumatra helping tigers. So it's a very, very busy time. And Australia Zoo itself is kind of the center of all of this work. So it's, really busy, but really fun. Plus, getting to play with animals every day is pretty awesome.
Yeah, that sounds really fun. What characteristics do you admire in your mom and sister, Bendy?
Ooh, there's so many things that I admire about them. But I think I'd have to say just their bravery. They are two of the bravest people I know. They're just amazing. My mum and dad first started the zoo about 51 years ago now. Very, very long time ago. And she has just been amazing, making sure that all of this work that Dad started many years ago continues. And she's just led Australia Zoo through some of the tough times, like we're going through now with the coronavirus and keeping everything ticking over and keeping all that conservation work going. So I admire her so much for just stoically always leading the charge. It's just amazing. She's incredibly brave. And then my sister, to see her, she's always been older than me. She's 6 years older than me. And so I kind of feel like I'm constantly learning from my sister. And we've always had a really good a relationship as, brother and sister. We're always having fun and teasing one another, but we've always just gotten along really, really well. And so, it's awesome to see her now kind of running Australia Zoo as well with my mum. And they are such a great team. And for me, being the youngest member of the Irwin family, until Bindi has her baby, I'm still the youngest. It's really inspiring for me to get to see them every day working hard and keeping all of this going. And hopefully, when I grow up, if I'm at half as brave as my mum is and my sister, I would be incredibly happy with that.
Now it's time for some bonus questions.
Bonus questions. Ooh, I'm excited.
What is your favorite ice cream?
Favorite ice cream? Oh, it'd be between two, chocolate or chocolate chip mint. The mint choc chip. Those are my two favorites. I'd probably lean towards mint choc chip. What about you? What's your favorite?
I like cookie dough and mint chocolate chip too.
Ooh, okay, yeah, that's good. Cookie dough is quite good. It's quite good.
Yeah. What's your favorite thing to do at the zoo?
Favorite thing to do at the zoo? I reckon it'd have to be feeding crocodiles. That's my favorite. It's pretty awesome. We go in with them in their enclosure. Each croc has their own kind of little billabong area, this little lake that they have, and we'll go in and feed them and let them strike out of the water and try and get us. And it's really good for them. It's great exercise, chasing us around. And it's also a lot of fun. It's great.
What do you like to do with your family when you're not running the zoo?
What do I like to do with my family when I'm not running the zoo? Good question. Well, my brother-in-law and I are avid surfers, and so we do that quite a lot when we're not at Australia Zoo. And then for the rest of my family, there's so many things we enjoy, but to be quite honest, I think everything we do is kind of revolved around nature and wildlife. So when we're not at the zoo, we're usually hiking. We love getting outdoors and hiking. That would probably be our little family tradition.
What can we do to help animals?
That is a really wonderful question. And that's something that we're very passionate about is helping wildlife all over the world. And we actually have a non-profit organization. It's called Wildlife Warriors. And there's a lot of things that you can do with that to actually get involved. We have a program called Visionary Wildlife Warriors, which is for young people who are passionate in getting involved with conservation. And we run worldwide all kinds of fun fundraising projects, raising awareness for conservation, everything from beach cleanups to plant a tree day and all these really fun things. So it's always great to get involved with that. You can check out our organization there, which is pretty awesome. But also just, I think that in your own backyard, I'm really passionate in encouraging young people to really just do your part. And I think that the most important thing is starting a conversation about conservation and talking with your friends and peers about what conservation means to you, about all the problems that are facing the world and facing our wildlife, and talking about solutions, and also taking action as well, whether that's maybe cleaning up the rubbish in your local park or working to conserve water, maybe do more recycling or composting if you can. All these little things can really add up and makes a really big difference for our planet and for our wildlife as well.
If you could talk to your dad right now, what would you ask or tell him?
I think if I could talk to Dad now, I think I'd just thank him. He really started all of this and set everything that we do in motion. He, a long time ago, younger than me now, he actually first developed a passion for wildlife. And Australia Zoo, it's now on about 600 or 700 acres of land now, but it started at 4 acres. It was this tiny little wildlife park where he and his family would rescue little animals and give them a great life in this tiny little zoo, and people would come and visit. And then as he grew up, he wanted to make it bigger and better. And so eventually he started getting crocodiles. He met Mum and started doing this filming work and really just created this massive legacy and became the biggest voice in wildlife conservation. And honestly, he was the best dad ever as well. His top priority was always for me and Bindi, and he was just the most fun, enthusiastic, passionate, excitable person you could ever meet. And so I just want to say thank you for being the best dad and for starting this whole huge place, this massive legacy that we get to continue. It's such an honor.
Thank you so much for talking with me, Robert.
Thank you. It's been really great to talk to you, and I hope that one day you can come and visit us at Australia Zoo.
Toodaloo, kangaroo!
Toodaloo, that's awesome. Thank you. See you later.
See ya. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks so much for watching. Remember, new 7 questions interviews are posted every Thursday. Be sure to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Love you guys. Bye!